If you've done any kind of video production or photography or really any kind of content creation at all, then you know how much it sucks to have to rely on these tiny little batteries to power your camera. That is, until now. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Neewer PS099E, which is a massive V-mount battery that you can use to hook up to your camera, your lights, your monitors, anything that you need to power while you're creating content. What's up, my dude? Your friendly neighborhood Tony here, and welcome back to the Spare Tech Room, where I try to help you make better tech choices. And this is something that has been a real pain for me because, again, I shoot these videos. I have a camera that I'm looking at you through right now, and I have one set up overhead. And having to power these off of little batteries is a complete nightmare. Now, there are other options, of course. You can run continual power to your devices. They make dummy batteries that you can then plug into the wall. But then, of course, you have to be stationary or in a position where you have an outlet nearby. And that's where this comes in. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the PS099E. I'll tell you all about its different bells and whistles, everything that it can do, and all the different things that you can hook up into it. And then I'll show you how I use it in my setup. Also, speaking of my setup, a lot of people have been commenting on my recent videos about this backlight that I have going on over here. So that is something that Neewer sent over to me along with the P99E. So if you want to see a little bit about that, stick around till later on in the video and I'll tell you how to get that in your videos. So of course, I've already unboxed the device here. I've been using it for a little while now, and as you can see, it's relatively small. Let's see if I have something to compare it to here. This is my iPhone 17 Pro, and you can see that as far as height is concerned, it's definitely shorter than that. It's about the same width as the iPhone 17 Pro, maybe a little bit thinner than that, but of course, it's a lot deeper. So it is a chonker of a battery. Now, if you want some stats on here, this is a 6,800 milliamp hour battery or 99 watt hours. It comes with a mini OLED display here that will tell you all about how much power you're pushing out or how much power is remaining in the device. And you've got multiple ways to connect to it. Over on this side, you have the D-tap connection, which is something that a lot of people use, especially for lights. So if you have any studio lights that you want to run off of this, you totally can. You also, along the top, have an 8-volt and 12-volt outlet right here. Those are going to be, of course, for DC output. So if you have any devices that are going to run off of that, you're totally set. Then on the other side, you have a USB-A and USB-C. The USB-C, I believe, will put out up to 65 watts. And of course, you're able to charge the battery itself through that same USB-C plug. Another really cool thing about this, besides the fact that it has an incredible amount of juice to power all of your devices, is that it's just at the limit to be able to take on a flight. So if you're not familiar, when you go on a lot of domestic or international flights, there's a limit to the amount of battery power that you're able to bring along with you. You can only have batteries up to a certain size, and this hits that limit perfectly. So this is a great travel companion as well. I've personally used it to charge my A7C Mark II, which is the camera that I'm using here, and it has run off of this for multiple charges. You just keep it hooked up through USB-C and you're good to go for hours, really days, depending on how much you're using your camera. I've also hooked it up to my Amaran 60D, and it's run that for as long as I've needed it to. All you do at the end of your shoot is you just pop it off of the V-mount, plug it into the wall, get it charged back up, and you're good to go. So let me go ahead and show you a couple ways that you can connect this to your devices. And this is where you might want to pick up a couple accessories with yours. So one of the things I picked up is also from Neewer, but I paid for this with my own money. And this is a foldable V-mount battery plate that is pretty universal for whatever camera you have. So if you take a look at it here, you'll see that it is an Arca Swiss compatible quick release camera base plate. Like I said, it should work with really any camera that you have. It's foldable, so you can flip up the backside here and then just slide your V-mount battery right into place. And then you have kind of the beginnings of your own camera rig. Now, of course, you can add more things to this if you want to get a full-on cage for your camera, so you can attach a monitor or microphone or whatever else you want to it, you can do that. But if you're just worried about power, then this is an absolutely perfect solution. From there, I just scooped up one of these really tiny 6-inch USB-C to USB-C cables and connected that from my camera right into the USB-C input on the V-mount battery. And like I said before, it will keep my camera running for longer than I've needed it. I think I read somewhere that you can recharge a Canon R5 7 times with this battery. Another couple things that I picked up for this is to connect it again to my Amaran 60D. And one of those things is just a little DC cable to D-tap connector, which again, you can plug right into the V-mount battery here. So you can run both the light and the camera off this same battery if you want to. Of course, if your light doesn't have a V-mount plate on it, then you can get something as simple as this here, which is basically a V-mount plate that you can attach to your light stand. And this is really great. I've used this. I connected it right to my light stand, slid the battery right into place, and it locks down. So that's been really helpful as well, getting my battery in position where I need it. And again, when I'm done for the day, I just pop it off of the plate, go ahead and plug it into the wall, get it charged back up, and I'm good to go for another round. Now, before we wrap this thing up, I do want to show you the light that I have going on in the background here. That is the Neewer FL10, which is a really cool portable flashlight. Basically, it looks like a robust metallic flashlight, but it has a few tricks up its sleeve. One is that it's able to change its light color. So you can go for a cooler temperature white light or a more orange, almost sunset kind of color, as well as a blue and a red option. Then you have multiple different adapters that you're able to put on the front of the light, which will give you different designs in the background. So you can just flash the light itself or any of these many designs that it comes with. This is kind of my favorite for now, but if I want to switch it up, I can just slide one of these on there and it's going to give a completely different look to my video. It's just really portable, easy to set up, and it adds a little flair, a little zhuzh to your YouTube setup. Now, if you want to check out either of these items, I'm going to drop links in the description box below. I believe the V-mount battery is on sale right now, so you might want to check that out sooner than later before it goes back up in price. Speaking of price, I recently did another video about the best budget streaming setup that I was able to put together. So there's a couple of items in that you might want to take a look at. I'll link to that video right over here if you want to jump on into that next. Go ahead and check that out, and I'll see you next time in the spare tech room. Be good.